Hey guys, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you're tuning in for a weekly reading vlog. It is Monday about 4:15 and I am tuning in to tell you about my weekend and what I'm reading to start off the week. So last week I was pretty busy. I mostly work from home, but I had an in-person training that I was leading last week for 2 days, and those kind of wiped me out. And so I know on those weeks, like, I'm not gonna have as much time to read and do the things that I want to do, so I'm just tired. But I am currently at 5 books read this month. It's the 9th. I think that's decent. I tried to get into a couple of books on my Kindle after reading the books last week. So last week I read One of Us is Dead. That finished on Tuesday. Legends and Lattes I finished over the weekend. Payback's a Witch I finished, and It Found Us I finished. And so I tried to get into 2 other books. I tried to get into The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore, which I haven't DNF'd that book. I just haven't gone back to it. And then I tried to push hard on Not Your Ex's Hexes. I'm actually about 30% into that book, maybe 40. But it's just not hitting the way I needed to. So part of October for me is like witchy romance, and I do love a good witchy romance. And last year I read a lot of those, and I've kind of expanded my reading palette since last year. And so I do read a few more thrillers. I'm trying to push myself more in the fantasy realm. And so this one's just not hitting for me. I can't remember, and I'll have to look up and maybe tell you tomorrow. I read the first book, Not the Witch You Wed, last year, and I have to figure out what I rated that. And it's not that I'm not going to finish Not Your Ex's Hexes, but I usually try to finish 1 to 2 books over the weekend. And I just knew I wasn't going to finish that book, so I just couldn't get into it. And I didn't want to necessarily like rush through it. I wanted to just like read it. So I put that down. And then yesterday in the final hours, I picked up this book. This is R.L. Stein's Fear Street, Who Killed the Homecoming Queen. This is a reprint of the original book. I guess it came out in the 90s, but I could have sworn it came out earlier than that. But anyway, I read this book and finished it yesterday. It is 151 pages exactly. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I loved R.L. Stein in the Fear Street series when I was a teen, middle schooler, and when I saw this reprint, I was like, I have to grab it just for the simple fact that it's reprinted. Like, it's amazing. But this book was really good, and I remember liking the way R.L. Stein wrote teenagers. This book follows a friend group. Tanya is a popular girl, and she gets homecoming queen. Leslie's sort of like the enemy. Ava's her best friend. Tanya's dating a guy named Sandy, but oddly, her stepbrother has a crush on her, Tanya, and so we're following this whole friend group, and somebody keeps threatening to kill Tanya after she wins homecoming queen, and then somebody keeps threatening the whole group. Alongside this, Sandy's having an affair on Tanya. He's cheating on her, and they're filming this movie with Sandy's best friend Keith. And it's sort of like a parallel of what's happening in the movie. Sandy is cheating on Tanya, and then she tries to break up with him, and he kills her. And so it was really over the top. It was definitely written at a different time. So I definitely liked it. And also unrealistic in the best way. So then after that, I decided, as I was kind of reading this in my head, I was like, I know what I'm going to do next. So the next book I decided to pick up was The Cruel Prince. This is my paperback that I'm reading. I'm only on page 13, so I don't have many thoughts on it, but it says on the back, Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous High Court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. So I just thought this would be something a little bit more challenging to read, and just like I might feel a little bit more accomplished reading it. It's not super long. It's 368 pages, so it's like the same length as a romance. And so I'm excited to get into this. It's starting off fine. Like I said, I'm only like 12 pages in, but I at least have been able to like follow it and read it and understand what's going on, so that's great. And then on my Kindle, so I always have a Kindle book going when it's dark so that I can read in bed. For the Kindle, I am reading A Discovery of Witches. I'm so excited to be digging into this. I decided that I wanted to read this because it is a longer book and I imagine it's going to take some time. I am reading this on the Scribe because it's a series and I feel like I'll be taking a couple of notes and highlighting some important characters to come back to. And that's the best part about the Scribe. I love, especially in the fantasy world or more complicated books, to be able to jot down notes or highlight. And the really good thing about the Scribe, I've said this before, but it has the feature called X-ray, and I think other Kindles have it too, but I only really use it on the Scribe. When you click on a word, you can X-ray that word. If it's a person, it'll tell you or reference back to another part in the story that that person lives. And so you can remember who they're talking about. And I love that for people like me who's reading something all the time and gets characters confused all the time. So Discovery of Witches here. Tonight is reading sprints. I haven't been doing them. Nothing against the sprints. I've just been trying to like do things around the house and then sprint later. So I might not do it live, but I might come back to it. But I like to be able to read and move around and do whatever I need to do. So I'll do that. Today I actually was on Alexandra Rosalind's sprint that she did on Friday. I think I talked about this last week too, but on Friday she does like a 5 or 6 hour sprint. I saw it for the first time last week, Monday, and I was going to do it this Friday, but this past Friday, Reagan was off, and so it didn't make sense to do a 6 hour sprint while your child is looking at you. And so I did it today, and it was great. I just let it run while I did my work, and it felt like I wasn't alone, which it sounds silly because like I don't mind working from home at all. I love it. But like it was nice to be productive, and even when I had meetings, I just muted it and kept the timer going, and it just about completed my whole day. Well, it did, because I started it once I dropped Reagan off for school. So I'm already at work a few hours before I drop Reagan off at school, and so yeah, it was great. I really liked it, so I'll do that again. But those are my plans. These are both pretty chunky books, so I don't anticipate finishing these anytime soon, but this will be my journey this week, and hopefully good things are happening so I can update you guys on what's going on. Other than that, I'm kind of looking, oh, I know what else. On Friday, did I talk about this? I tried to read this, but I DNF'd it. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it, and I heard that Audible is better with this. I canceled my Audible subscription, and so I don't have audio right now, and it's like a humongous wait on Libby, so we'll see. I don't have Hoopla at my library, so we'll see what happens with that. But after these books, or if I need like a palette, like sort of reset, I want to go to My Roommate is a Vampire, and then I also have the Go Hex Yourself, The Only Purple House in Town, so I have places to go. But yeah, that's where I am right now. So that is the update for Monday. I will check in later. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is late. It's 7:49 p.m. Winding it down for the night. And I remember that I did my daily reading vlog, but I didn't do the daily post for the weekly reading vlog. Lots to remember. Okay, so I'm currently reading sort of 3 books. So I'm reading The Cruel Prince, and I am about 70 pages into that, and I'm really liking it. It's not that it's moving slowly, it's that I haven't had time to read, and so it's only Tuesday. But so far we have met Jude and her sister Taryn and her sister Vivi, and they are all mortal, but their parents were killed when they were younger, and they were brought to a fairy world, and like their fairy world dad, I guess he's like royalty, or maybe it's just the fact that he's fairy and they're not, that there's a class difference. And now we have them in sort of like teenage years, and our main character Jude is very strong-willed, and she's kind of up against the Cruel Prince, Carden, which is the sort of bully of the book. And there's like a tournament coming up, and he is a prince, and she is threatening to sort of compete with him, right? Which would in some ways be like a pride thing for him because she's a nobody, really. She's moral in a fairy world, and so he wants her to not be a part of it. Sorry, laundry in the back. Just noticed that. Okay. He wants her to not be a part of it because it kind of shows like she's challenging him, but she won't do that. And so he's kind of torturing her with his gang of friends. There is one guy in there, Locke, who is nice, but I'm weary. I don't know if he's going to stay nice. But so far I'm really, really enjoying it. I wish I had a digital copy of it too, because I think I would move a lot faster. And actually, with it being Prime Deals Day, let me see if there are any deals on that book. And you can watch with me while I look it up. Yesterday I did pick back up my Oasis. I think I told you, or maybe I didn't say it, but since the Oasis debacle, I was like, do I even need an Oasis? So I put it in my drawer. And ultimately I decided, yes, I do. I like all the devices. There's also sales right now on the Kindles. And when this comes out, obviously you missed it, but I am putting that on in my community tab. I put it on my daily vlog. I just try and tell everybody about the sales. Okay, see, Cruel Prince is listed for $11.99 on Kindle, so it's a no. Now here's the thing. Oh, that's right. I looked this up yesterday. Yesterday I looked this up on the Amazon actual website. And what blows my mind is that the Kindle edition is $11.99, but the paperback edition is $6.64. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The whole idea of the Kindle is to, in my opinion, have books come directly and have them be just a little bit cheaper because you're not going to get them. You don't have the overhead. So why is it such a cost difference? I don't know. But yesterday, I also continued a little bit on A Discovery of Witches. I am enjoying this too, but I've been reading Cruel Prince way more. So on Discovery of Witches, let me see how far I am. Oh, I'm on page 4. I feel like I might have been further along than that because I think I was reading it on my paper white. But I'm not far enough in it to tell you at all what's going on. So when I have more to tell you, I will. But so far reading it, I like the way it's written, so I'm still sticking with it. And then last night I also picked up, because why not? I'm already not reading a book. Let's pick up another one. I started reading The Fall of Bradley Reed. It is by Elizabeth Morgan, and it is a Grumpy Sunshine revenge. Here's the cover. I thought the cover was really cute. Let me see if I can get the cover in color. Hang on. Okay. So I pulled up my Kindle Feier just so that you could see what the cover looks like. But now it's kind of glitchy lately. I don't know if it must have this problem. I'm having all kinds of problems with my Kindles. Anyway, black screen there. So it's a really cute cover was my whole point. It's got like the computer work screen, the coffee. It just was very aesthetic to me. And I just thought I wanted to read a cute romance. And so I'm only a few pages into this. And so far we're at a wedding, and it's so much like Sex and the City, where the groom calls off the wedding at the altar, basically. And so that's kind of where I am. But it's kind of cute to read before bed. I think what I will end up doing is read Cruel Prince and The Fall of Bradley Reed, because I think trying to do Cruel Prince and A Discovery of Witches is just going to lead to it not working out very well. So then I think after Cruel Prince, then I can read Discovery of Witches as my main like hardcore book, and then I'm going to go to My Roommate as a Vampire as my cute little romance. So that's how I'm going to try to balance. I feel like I'm not in a slump at all. Like, I'm excited to be reading, but I feel like I'm not finishing books. And I don't know if people get like this in their reading, but it's like part of the reading journey is finishing, and I'm not really finishing anything right now, but I'm trying to sit in that, and it's okay. I've finished 5 books this month. It's only the 10th. We are totally fine. I have read, I don't know, like 160 or 170 books this year, somewhere around there. And I'm like in my head saying I would love to get to 200 books this year, but not like writing that down anywhere in case it doesn't happen. But that would be great if I could. But I think that's kind of the direction I'm going to go for the next sort of short bit with books. But I will be back tomorrow to tell you more of what's going on in The Cruel Prince. Okay, see you guys later. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It is a nice day here in Minnesota. Just popping on real quick to give you an update on what I read. So yesterday I focused my energy on The Cruel Prince because, like I said yesterday, this is my main focus. And I got till about 112 pages in. So yesterday I read about 70 or 80 pages in this book. So it is getting so good. It is so good that I'm tabbing, guys. And I'm not an annotator. Like, I will in fantasy books and mostly do it on my scribe. But, like, here I am underlining, tabbing. It's, like, that good. So, the turn in this has happened. Jude has made a promise. I won't say what the promise is because I don't want to spoil it for you. But it has made this book so much better. I really wish I had a Kindle version of this. But I'm not going to pay another $11 for it when I already have the hard copy. But this is so good. I spent most of my energy on this yesterday. And then I read a little bit more of The Fall of Bradley Reed by Morgan Elizabeth. I keep reading this right before my eyes close at night, and so I can't remember what is happening. Okay. So I know that they're still trying to get over the whole getting left at the altar thing. And what else is happening? I think her friends are trying to like seek some revenge, but honestly, like the fact that I can't remember is a problem because I'm reading it half sleep, I guess. But I'm only 7% in, so we're still in the grieving part of the situation. So that was the worst review ever of this, but it is cute. I just can't remember any of it. I need to get a little bit further in. I can tell you guys some more. It is on Kindle Unlimited, which is great. And then I have a very special package coming today. I may or may not have gotten an extra Kindle. They had the Amazon deals, and I just had to do it. I had to do it. I have zero self-control when it comes to Kindles and deals. So I did it, and I will hopefully unbox that for you. Maybe that'll be my video tomorrow if it comes in time. It's not out for delivery yet, which is a little disheartening, but hopeful that it will come so I can film that for you guys. Okay, that is the update for Wednesday. I'll come back if something more happens. Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome to the end of the vlog. I'm sitting here on the couch. I just had a very busy day and week. Excited to just like dig into some books this weekend. Yesterday I did not update because nothing really had happened, but last night I did finish The Cruel Prince. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I don't know if this is a YA fantasy, so somebody comment down below if it is, but it was giving that vibe. I thought overall the story was intriguing. The political side of it I liked. There were like hints of romance that kind of came through, but not enough in my opinion for the type of fantasy that I like. I thought Jude and Carden were gonna be more than what they were, and maybe that will happen in book 2. It did leave on a cliffhanger, but I'm not running to book 2. Like when I get there, I get there. But I would read book 2, just not racing to it. I thought the relationship between Taryn and Jude, Taryn is Jude's sister, was top notch. It was written amazingly, and wow. And so I really liked that element of it. So 3 stars, not horrible, not racing to the second one, but I'll get there. And then I am still reading The Fall of Bradley Reed on my Kindle, and then I picked up My Roommate is a Vampire last night. This book is already reading so quickly. I think I read for like 20 minutes last night and got 20 pages in. So it's really an easy read, and it's cute, and so exactly what I needed. I think this weekend I'm going to focus on My Roommate is a Vampire, The Fall of Bradley Reed, Hello Mallory, and something else, maybe another Halloween something that I have on my Kindle. So that is the plan for the weekend. I hope that you enjoyed this weekly vlog. Let me know what you read this week. Let me know your your input on The Cruel Prince. That's what I read mostly this week. I would love to hear it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to all my new subscribers, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.